Well, shit.
What are y'all doing?
This is awful. I'm Deontay,
I'm Jordan.
and welcome back to This is Awful, Chucky TV show season 2, episode 4, Death on Denial. And before we get into this episode, we would just like to say rest in peace to Leslie Jordan. We heard about his untimely death, and as you know, well, if you don't know, that our intro is solely based on Leslie Jordan Instagram post back when the pandemic first started.
Well, shit. What are y'all doing? This is awful. It's still March. How many days in March? When is April gonna fucking get here?
It's awful.
This is awful. How many days in March? Because March was that's like the longest month.
It really was.
So, rest in peace to Leslie Jordan, and he will be missed. Getting into the episode, this was Jordan episode. She like Tiffany still. I'm to be honest. When Chucky was pointing that gun at her, I was like, "Oh, are they really gonna give me what I want? Like this early in the season? Are they really gonna kill her?
Do it! Just do it!
I was all for
Now,
it.
Deontay, you know better than that.
I know, man. I know. But
I enjoyed this episode, so let's just get right into it.
let's go ahead and get into it.
So we started off with a little Chucky scene on the couch, and he's kind of like a behind-the-scenes type thing. It's a special episode, so it's like Chucky is hosting. It's a meta episode. It's a very self-aware. I thought that was really cool. We got to see a little bit of, it's supposed to be like Chucky, like not in character, just his personality, which is exactly like I was expecting it to be, you know, kind of an asshole. He on the phone giving his demands and stuff.
He got a little earpiece in and everything. Like, that was fly. Like this episode showed the effort and the creativity put into it. So I was like, I was enjoying it. Everything again. So far, everything about Chucky, I've been enjoying it about this whole thing. It's just all the other stuff around it that I'm not really feeling.
Well, that's fine. I like this episode. So Chucky introduces the episode, and it's a special event at Jennifer Tilly's house, and we open up with Act 1. So Glenn and Glenda are back. It's their birthday, their 18th birthday, which, did we get a time hop or?
Well, it obviously was a time hop from the last time we seen them at the birthday party at Seed of Chucky. And, you know, now they go by they and them pronouns. Right. And so in the beginning, Tiffany is she's kind of like has this thing where they don't come around. And
right.
We don't really know why, and I'm like, yo, why don't they? Where have they been? We've been trying to figure out where have they been, but apparently they just been,
MIA. But they also said that she's been like kind of holed up in her house for a year.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering maybe they live somewhere else, and Tiffany or Jennifer comes to visit them every so often, and she hasn't been this year.
Yeah, because after the events of the last season, it's been a year since all that happened,
right?
And then she's been scared to leave the house because she has Nika / Chucky, and she actually would call them back when the guy was at the door, and she was like, "What you got in there?" And he was like, "My girlfriend and my husband." So I was like, technically that's true.
She didn't lie.
Yeah, she didn't lie. So I mean, I don't want to be too hard on it. There's little bits and pieces that I do like. Here's my problem. This is my problem with Tiffany. I feel like she is not psycho crazy like Chucky is just a psycho. It's like you're just a bad apple. So whatever happens to you, that just happens to you. Tiffany seems mentally unstable, like she has schizophrenia. What in what world do you think cutting off somebody's arms and legs are gonna make them want to be with you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be, again, not psycho, but you have to have some type of disorder. So I feel sorry for her more than like she's crazy and like it's like, you just a bad apple. I feel sorry for her. Like, you need to be on medication, because no one in their right mind wants to take care of a. I know why she's doing it, because she don't want Chucky to kill her, but at the same time, how do you expect Nika to act? She has no arms, no legs.
Right, but she's also in love with her, so I feel like the whole crazy type vibe goes along with what we know about Tiffany, like based on the movies or such. So getting back into the episode, we have Glenn and Glenda. They're having their 18th birthday at their mom's house, and it's a surprise party, not necessarily for them, but it is a surprise to Tiffany, because they didn't tell her what was going on. They have these...
You mean Jennifer Tilly?
Whoever she is. It's a surprise to Tiffany, but also a surprise for them, for their mom, who is supposed to be Jennifer Tilly. They have these big time movie star friends coming over. She doesn't know anything about it. Now she's all flustered because not only does she have Nika trapped in her house, but she also got this dead man in a closet, in a coat closet, and everybody's arriving to the party. So while they're at the party, Glenn asks their mom, did anything happen in their childhood, anything bad? And Tiffany is like, no, what do you mean? And then Glenn is talking about how they keep having this recurring dream about somebody dying, and they feel like they were the killer. So Tiffany is trying to convince them that didn't happen. So I'm assuming that we're supposed to believe that Glenn and Glenda don't remember anything from their childhood, because we do know in
Seed of Chucky
that Glenda watched Tiffany kill their nanny, their au pair,
with the Belle doll. Is that called Belle? Yeah, with the Belle doll. So this is kind of like, I guess we can call it kind of, we just gonna pretend that didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they could try to play on like children they don't remember stuff that far back. I do. I remember stuff from when I was like 3 years old, but some people do say.
I remember if my mom beat somebody to death with a doll.
But you also know, like, they say that something that was like that traumatizing. Well, I don't know. She wasn't traumatized. I don't know. We're just supposed to believe that they don't remember anything from their childhood, because even Glenn got the Chucky's arm in the mail.
And so, again, because they don't understand that they were once dolls, but Chucky and Tiffany do, but they don't. So, and again, they can really do whatever, because the babies were conceived through voodoo. Remember, Chucky masturbated in the turkey baster or whatever, and she put it in Jennifer Tilly, and then she got pregnant. She was like 9 months pregnant the next day, and they had a baby. Yeah. So they're voodoo babies. So hell, anything is up for grabs now. So possible. I guess maybe they do, maybe they do forget. But the fact that they put one soul into 2 bodies, and they kind of brought that up by saying they don't feel whole. They never felt whole. Then I don't know.
You already talked about that last time. We got to move past this.
All right, go ahead.
Now we in Act 2, which was Murder You Say. We have the butler at Tiffany's, Jennifer Tilly's house, and he is throwing around all of these.
First of all, let me interrupt you. Where the fuck did this dude come from? He just came out of nowhere doing shit and talking too much. Like, he talked entirely we saw too much of him in this episode. I'm glad he died. I never want to see that man again.
He really did. I guess it was all just a setup for this whole murder mystery thing, so that he could have, everybody in the house could have motive to want to kill him. But he was doing way too much talking. He was calling that dude Italian slurs, which I will not say on live TV.
Chef's kiss.
Come. Guido is now a slur. And as a fellow American of Italian descent, I'd ask you to go a little easy on the stereotyping. Not all of us are gangsters. Some of us are just actors.
He was talking about Glenn and Glenda, asking which one was a girl, which one was a boy. That's when we got the...
I beg your pardon?
No, you look like a boy. He looks like a girl.
Glenn and I are both non-binary. That's kind of the point. We go by they, them.
Yeah, but they, them have always been plural. Strunk and white, the Holy Bible of the English language dictates that.
What simple respect do they deserve? They're here.
You're nibblings.
Yeah. Other acceptable gender-neutral terms for niece and nephew are niefling, chibling, and sip kid.
Oh my God, you are so cute. I love you.
Yeah, it's very cute. And stupid because those aren't words. The hell is wrong with you people?
Yeah, I actually like that Don man scene. I don't know if he wrote this scene or, but he's the creator. So he actually put that in, being a gay man himself and, being a part of the LGBTQ community. He put it in there like, we know what y'all say. We know y'all think it's dumb or whatever you want to say, but no, here, let me explain it to you. This is what it is. Words can, evolve over time or whatever. So, but it wasn't like they shied away from it. They like addressed it and they moved on. So
he used his platform to, advocate for people who are part of the community, especially young people, because Glenn and Glenda are only 18 years old. So I really did like that part. The part with...
And it kind of came full circle because, Glenn was dealing with that way back in the day, which that kind of wasn't a thing back then. So for it to come back now, it's kind of like,
they're older, they're more confident. So
so he kind of saw that he was ahead of his time back then with that.
That part was nice. I could have done without the scene with the Italian mob. Like that one went a little too far in my eyes. Like I said, I know why they did it. They needed to give everybody motive to want to kill the butler. Anywho, butler ends up dead. Now Tiffany has to come up with this idea.
Well, not only is the butler dead, but
Nika is also missing.
Nika is missing.
And she has that tracking on her phone. She has
the security system that she installed. Like Chucky got her shook.
Yeah.
She got the whole, all her interests in the
this woman is spinning up all Jennifer Tilly.
The kids actually caught her out on it. They were like, "Yo,
you going through all your money."
We talked to the accountant, and the accountant said, "You running out of money."
Which, why would the accountant talk to these children? They just turned 18.
They probably couldn't get to Tiffany because she had been in deep hiding.
Yeah,
but
they may be desperate.
But anyways, now Nika's on the loose, and we shook because we like, what the hell? What's going on? It made it seem like that
Chucky devised the plan somehow inside Nika's brain.
And Tiffany on the fly. And these people kind of made me mad that they were like going along with it.
Right. They're touching the butler. They taking out his, like, you can't tell a dead body, real dead body. You think that Tiffany is that good of an or Jennifer Tilly is that good of an actress?
She didn't even know this was planned. She found out when y'all found out.
Right.
and not only that, they were giving them compliments like, don't let nobody tell you play a good bad guy. Yeah, because he's dead.
We ain't playing.
Ain't nobody playing.
So all of this improving on Tiffany's part leads us to Act 3, which is plethora of suspects. We know that somebody in this house has killed the butler. We don't know who. We know that Nika is gone. So now we're going through talking about who could have killed the butler. And then we get a little surprise and we see Nika being rolled out by someone who we're not sure of who it is yet, but it's only to assume that it was Glenda because we see somebody with short hair rolling her out. Then we get a little plot twist because we see that Glenn is talking to Nika and they are saying that they are going to get her out of this house one way or another. So now at this point,
we kind of fucked up because I'm like, yo, I thought that was Glenda, and now we know that they both know.
Right.
So it's like, oh shit.
So how do they know? How did they come up with this plan? All of this because we know that Tiffany has been locked up in this house by herself with Nika. So we're trying to figure this all out. At the same time, we get a little bit of story between these other people, these other actors and actresses, and Tiffany,
who we don't really care about.
We don't really care about them. We just
Tiffany's sister looks so much like her though, like so much like her.
We should have went and saw if that was her real sister.
Oh yeah,
because they look way too much alike. Either that is Jennifer Tilly playing both characters, or they're actually related. They gotta be.
I think they're actually related. I think because all of those people are actually real actors. So I mean, actresses and actors. So, but also in this act, it got really weird for me. Like seeing the sex with whatever that sex was, it just feels like it's uncomfortable to watch. It's not because Tiffany's uncomfortable and I'm uncomfortable watching that. And then the dude comes in,
With
his pants
already
down. Yeah, like, bro, what's this episode is taking a turn, like, and then she's asking everybody, did you kill him? And I was like, ain't you supposed to know this? Ain't this your game?
Right.
Like, why are you asking us? So,
and yeah, why didn't they ask if the butler was really dead at this point? Like, they think that this fear side of her is still part of the game.
right,
It can't be.
It was like, yeah, I didn't enjoy that.
Yeah, we could just skip forward through Act 3. We just got a lot of like nuanced information.
Yeah, that it didn't matter. The banger was the reveal of Nika being rolled out by Glenda, and then we found out that Glenn is in on it, and then Glenn even did the thing. So,
Pinky promise that would get you out, and then they're like, oh, my bad. That's kind of messed up. Also in Act 3, we find out how this plan even came to be. So we get a little flashback from a couple of months ago.
How do you know who we are? Your mother is a psychotic murderer who thinks she's in love with me, and she chopped off all my limbs, and she's kept me trapped in here for a year. Mom's a murderer. Mom's a lesbian. She's not who you think she is.
Glenn and Glenda came to Tiffany's house, and they actually caught or found Nika. Tiffany got too drunk. She passed out on the couch. Glenda said, I want to go see what's in the room. Glenn was also curious. Even though Glenn is the more cautious one, they were both curious, so they went into the room. They found Nika all tied up with the ball. What is it called? Ball gag in her mouth. And so they took it out. Nika started explaining.
Again, you love me, but you got me ball gagged in this room
for hours at end.
That is just the worst. Sorry. So they found Nika.
She starts explaining that their mom is a psychopath. She's had her locked up like this for a year now. So then,
which adds more confusion because mom's a killer. Like, you witnessed her kill someone,
right?
But I digress.
So then they start devising a plan. Of course, they don't want this person to suffer like this, even though that is their mom. They're gonna do what's right. So they devise a plan.
It was easy too. Like, they didn't think about it at all. Well, at least which one was it? Was it Glenda that was ready to go, and then Glenn was, because Glenn is still on the fence. Like, how do we know that's true or whatever? And it's like, come on, who would lie about that? Look at her. Like,
yeah.
So, but Glenda, she was ready. I mean, they were ready to jump ship immediately.
So then it just so happens that in the middle of their plan, Tiffany wakes up. So which one was it that Glenn had to go and distract Tiffany. While Glenda finishes talking to Nika, she had a knife with her, accidentally cut her hand, which we know that blood gets Chucky to show up. So now Glenda is talking to Chucky, and he calls Glenda shitface, which I'm guessing that sparks her memory, or their memory.
Yeah, because remember he called Glenda and Cedar Chucky shitface. So that sparked a memory, and they were like, oh, maybe you do know, and they believe.
Right. So now Glenda is devising this plan with Chucky, unbeknownst to Glenn or Nika, and Glenda's plan is to kill Tiffany and get Nika out.
Get Chucky out.
Right, get Chucky out. So now we got a little plot twist.
It's a double cross. That's what it was. And that double cross come to fruition in Act 4.
So we're back in present day now, and we're at Nika's great escape. She gets out to the entryway where all of the guests are. She sees Tiffany. That's not her.
First we find the Italian dude got popped.
Oh, that's right. He's in
the elevator, and then that's when we get the double cross when Glenda comes up and smacks Glenn. And we like, oh shit, again! Like, what is going on? So now now I like the episode. Now I'm into it. Like, finally, you got
the last 5 minutes.
5 minutes of the episode, I'm into it.
And honestly, that's probably the best thing that could have happened for Tiffany. Because how are you going to explain this? You already got the butler dead, and now the elevator opens, and one of the other guests is dead too. So what was she going to possibly say to the rest of these people?
I mean, that's a good question. We still got to see, because it ain't like they just finna let that go, I don't think. Well, nobody saw that dude in the elevator though, right? Maybe they won't wonder what happened. Eventually, it's gonna come back to her because there's no way you can keep getting away with all these bodies. But.
Maybe so. So now we got Chucky back in the body of Nika. He is coming to finish what he started with the help of Glenda. So now he's telling Glenda to give him his arms, and then they also have a gun, which Glenn and Glenda asked for their birthday by one of the guests at the party.
He used all of the bullets to cap the Italian dude, and then Chucky ain't have no bullets. And to be honest, that's kind of like a bad way to do it, because anyone that's ever held a gun, a fully loaded gun, you can definitely tell when there's no bullets in a gun. So, but we're gonna let that. Well,
maybe he can't feel because it's a bionic arm.
He can't feel, but Glenda should have felt the weight of the gun because she gave it, or they gave it to her.
Could be. So plan is foiled. Then Nika comes back out. Is that right?
Yeah, Nika comes
back out. She's terrified, seeing everything that's going on.
Because Tiffany slapped the shit out of Chucky because he was going in. He was going in on her, and she did something to him. She hit him, and then that brings Nika forward. And Nika hauled ass out of there with them damn arms. She was gone.
Moving. So then she's moving. Gate almost closes. Tiffany's trying to keep her locked in.
She's losing her shit. Losing it.
Meanwhile, I don't know what are all the guests doing at this point. Are they all in shock?
No, they think it's a game because they like, is this part of the act? Is she doing like they
Come on, y'all can't be this
She
dumb.
was like, let me get my phone. I think she was recording it too. I think she was putting it on the gram. She said she was gonna put it on the gram.
Already broke my heart, Chucky.
Okay, the head it is.
I'm sorry, so is she supposed to be the murderer? Because we haven't met her. It's not totally fair that we don't know her.
The wheelchair, we need to check it for fingerprints.
Really, Meg? You want to play the game now? Hold this. It's going on the gram.
Damn, so they thinking it's all part of the act, and
Of course, Nika escapes at the very last minute. There's a van waiting for her. She rolls up in the van, and surprise, we get Kyle back.
Oh, I didn't see that. I didn't know Kyle was gonna be back. I thought Kyle was dead. Said no one. Said no one. And then Glenda jumps in the van too. Now, that's going to be the most interesting thing about it. We know that Glenda is helping Chucky.
Right.
But they're also in a van with Kyle and Nika.
Right.
So maybe this is even a longer play for Chucky. Because why would she get in that van if or maybe Glenda is going to find out that, what's really good about Chucky.
Could be.
But also
Kyle should have some sort of inkling that something is off too, because Kyle asks, where is Glenn? And Glenda's like, oh, what did she say? Like they chickened out or something. They decided not to come.
Or they said just go or something like that. But
so I'm hoping that Kyle has some sense, and I'm sure it was Glenn that contacted Kyle, not Glenda.
Well, it could have been. It could have been, because we know that Glenn and Glenda have both spoken to Nika. So as far as we know, they may all be on the same page that Glenn and Glenda are helping Nika. Mm-hmm. So Glenda may very well may be cool with Kyle too. Now it'll be a point where when we find out, I think it's going to be a point where Glenda finds out about Chucky, and they probably are going to assume that she's going to side with them, but I think Glenda is going to come back to the seat of Chucky Glenda, and she's really low-key evil, and they may side with their dad.
Could be.
That's where I'm going with it. I think they are going to side with Chucky and be also part of this second plan, because Chucky got he got a plan for his plan. At least that's what I'm assuming.
Well, that's a good prediction, but we know that we're not going to get the answers in the next episode, because after all of this, we end with cool Chucky on the couch again, and he's talking about the episode. He's kind of interacting with the crowd. He also...
Thank you very much. This concludes our very special episode of Chucky.
Brings out...
Again, this is playing into the whole meta thing, like it's Chucky on the couch, and it's kind of like a Tonight Show or what I'm saying, something like that. And it was real cool. And we like, this is when it becomes like this, super meta when he's like, she said she wanted to be killed by Chucky. Yeah. She didn't want nothing else, just to be killed.
Which that looked like real footage. Like she must have been talking to producers at that time.
Or it may have been a podcast that she said that, and then they pulled her. Somebody saw her on that podcast, and they was like, "Oh, you want to be killed by Chucky? Okay, come on the show." And she was there, and Chucky killed her, and he was also letting us know that they can only get 10 F words per episode, and he got them all out right there.
It's good night and sweet dreams.
So that's like the end of the episode. Again, I did enjoy this episode, other than like 90% of it. So.
I like the whole episode. I like the creativity, like we talked about. I like the little twist. I love how they did a special event. You were talking about how shows used to do that.
Yeah, all of the old time shows, they would take one episode and they would do like a Christmas episode, but it would be the person, the star, commentate and narrating on the episode. Right. Like they'll have something like, remember that time where we, and then it'll like do the wavy line, and then they'll go and they'll bring back a time in the show and stuff like that. So I thought that was funny. And again, Chucky is becoming like, he is setting himself apart from all of the other horror icons. We just seen Michael Myers crash and burn with Halloween, and it's sad, so sad. Go check out our review if you haven't already. Spoiler alert, we trashed that movie for like 20 minutes. So Chucky is kind of becoming like a celebrity, like, you know what I'm saying, like a superstar. Yeah. Which I dig it. So, I'm here for it. Let's go, Don.
I was really into the episode. I thought it was great. I'm not sure if I'm going to even enjoy the next episode with these kids after getting that. We'll have to wait and see.
And we get bro Chucky. We get bro Chucky back.
I'll take Meta Chucky over Bro Chucky, even though I know they're not in the same category.
Don't be a hater all your life. That's all we have for you today. We'll see you in the next one, and may peace be with you.
And also with you.
Hey, yo, get your own shit.